Hey, this is Chuck, and this is a video on getting into some of the Zoom basics. Again, I know that many of you have already done some of this stuff, but we've learned some better ways to do things, so I wanted to show those to you in this video today. Now, you can see what we're trying to cover. We'll be in the Zoom application for the first part of this, and then we'll move to the web interface to look at your profile and a few other important things there. Okay, also, I'll be showing you how to do some of this stuff on the Mac and some of this stuff on the PC. And if you hear my computer whirling over here, that's because the fans are blowing big time because I'm putting so much strain on my computer. So here we go. We're going to go to, I don't want to have that up. Let me get that out of the way. Let's just hide that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and launch Zoom. Now, I've made it easy for me to launch this, and hopefully you have done that too. We've talked about that before. And I do recommend that you actually start from home now. And the reason being is because I want to show you a little trick. If you go into Join, and you can do whatever you want with these right here. I'm going to turn my video off, and I'm going to turn my audio off as well, just because I'm already talking to you through another program. And I'm going to show you how you can get into your classroom easily. One way might be just to hit this chevron right here that's pointing down and just find your classroom in this list. The easiest way may be just to type in BRS, your first initial, your last name, for me it's CPACE, and click join. And guess where you're going to end up? Right where you're supposed to be. Now this is my classroom. I wanted to go through some controls with you. So sometimes if you get this join audio button, I don't know why that pops up like that. It says automatically. It might have been because I turned it off, but go ahead and just turn that on. I'm still muted on Zoom, not with you, but on Zoom. But I do want to show you a couple things here. I'm using my Samson mic right now. I've got lots of mics, as you can see in this list. But I'm using the Samson one, which is just a nice mic that's sitting right in front of me. I've decided to use my speaker, use my system for the speaker. So the system selects the speaker. Whatever I've selected in my system is what will be selected with Zoom. Now, let me show you one more thing. You can test these settings by going to Test Speaker and Microphone. So let's do that. You could probably hear that through my mic. Yes, I can hear that. Now I'm talking, and you can hear that. You can hear that. So it must be working. All right, so that shows you how to do that. Now, I don't think there's anything else we need to talk about there. But let's go ahead and look at the video. Now, one of the things that you want to make sure as you're on the camera that you want to be on. I've got two. I'm on the camera that I want to be on, which is the C922. You can also choose a background for yourself here. And I've actually added a bunch of backgrounds by hitting this plus button here. And I just added pictures that I had on my desktop. And you can see some pretty cool stuff here. I've got a couple pictures of the USS Eisenhower, a ship that I was on for a little while. And these are the helicopters that my squadron flew. And by the way, you can see that I have mirroring turned on. And by turning that on, it turns everything around, right? But it also means that when I move my head this direction, it moves in the same direction on the video. That's why I did that. And I'm thinking about actually putting a green screen up behind me, which you can just do with green cloth. We'll see how that goes. All right. Now, let's see. You don't need the invite button. And the reason why you don't need the invite button is because you're not inviting anybody. They're just coming to your classroom the way we set this up. I would recommend turning on Manage Participants. You might want to make your screen bigger when you do that. I don't like going to full screen because then it makes these into windows. And I don't want a window. I want the sidebar. You can poll your students, so play around with that. I also like to turn on the chat window. And I've turned these controls on over here in another setting, which I'll show you in another video. notice how I have the record button that says record instead of recording, because I turned off automatic recording because it was driving me nuts. So you're going to have to remember to click on this when you want to make a recording. Let's do that real quick. So I want to record to the cloud. We bought a lot of space in the cloud that Zoom offers us so that you won't have to put this on your own computer. And I think it's working pretty well. It wasn't initially, but now it is. So let's go ahead and click on that. And I'm going to go ahead and record without audio. And it's making a recording right now. Now I'm going to go ahead and stop that recording. Here we go. We need that recording a little later on in the video, so that's why I did that. Okay, and hopefully it'll be there. It might not be there when we get done with this. I've turned on breakout rooms, but I haven't used it yet, so that's probably another video. And this little button gives you a chance to do reactions. And you can set the color of your skin actually on this in settings, which again, that'll be another video. All right, so let's see. I think we've covered all that stuff, and that's important. But I do want to show you one more thing about this application. Now I'm going to go ahead and slide over to Windows. This is my Windows virtual PC on my Mac. It's one of the reasons why my Mac is all spun up. And you can see that I'm running out of space because I was stupid enough to make this a fixed size hard drive, and now I'm running out of space. But it serves its purpose for this. I'm going to go ahead and launch Zoom here. And it's taking longer than I want it to. But here it comes. All right. Now, once I get into Zoom, it's pretty much the same thing. So once you get into Zoom, there's not a whole lot different here. You're still going to join your class the same way. All right. But I do want to show you this. There's a little pip mark here. And this is the place where I can get to some of these settings, like my skin color one, right? So again, we'll make another video on that, but I just wanted to show you that little gear mark, I guess is what that is. Also, I'm signed in, but if you're not signed in, the program will prompt you to do so and just use your Blue Ridge credentials. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close this, and I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to go ahead and get out of this meeting. And I'm going to go ahead and close that. And I want to open it just for one quick reason. Oh, look what, I'm not signed in. It must have freaked out because I signed in someplace else. All right, sign in with Google. And now we're back to where we want to be. And the same gear here. I told you a different way last week. You have the same little gear icon here to get to your settings. And again, we'll walk through those settings another day. All right, so that means we have one more thing we need to do. Yeah, it doesn't want me to be signed in on two computers at the same time, it seems. We're going to go ahead and go to the Zoom website. Now, what I'm actually doing here is going to blueridgeschool.zoom.us. So if you don't have a shortcut set up yet, that's what all you have to enter, blueridgeschool.zoom.us. Okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and sign in. And again, it wants me to go ahead and sign in. Please do not use this box up here. It's just going to take you down a rabbit hole that you don't want to go down. Go to sign in with Google, use your school credentials, and you'll be in. Easy. All right. A few things I want to show you here before we shut this video down. Your profile is here. And you really don't need to edit this, but you might want to edit your personal information because we really didn't do much to set that up. So I'll go ahead and click on this edit button, and you can see I could put all this information in about myself. Wayne put in St. George. Okay, that works. But I put some things in just to show you that you can. And I want to go to meetings. And then I want to go across here to personal meeting room. Now these are probably the most important settings that you'll do. So these top two settings here, first of all, you don't need the calendar stuff unless you want to. I mean, you can if you want. Then click on the Google Calendar. But please don't mess with these two settings right here. To edit the settings, you have to go down to edit this meeting, but this will edit all your meetings. So you might need to make sure that you set this up exactly the way you want. Right now, we're recommending computer audio. We will go to both if someone you will go to both if someone in your class needs to use the phone. We haven't gotten there yet. We do recommend enable join before host. That means your students can go to your classroom before you get there. That sometimes will be necessary. I have mine set to mute participants when they come in. You don't have to have that setting if you don't want to. We're staying away from the waiting room. The waiting room is it literally puts your kid, when they go to your classroom, it puts your student into a space all their own, and they sit there in limbo until you start the class, and they'll automatically join. I don't think we need that, and the people at Zoom didn't think that was a good idea for us either. We don't want to use authenticated users only. We don't need that. Breakout room pre-assigned is something you may use in the future, and we'll get back to that. And then recording the meeting automatically. I chose to turn this off. If you have it turned on, please make sure this is clicked on in the cloud. I do recommend you keep that off. All right, let's save those settings and look at one more thing, recordings. So it did make that recording I just did. Let's go in. It has a generic name here. I don't want this one, but if I wanted to check it out, I could go ahead and do this, and I could play it, and you can see that there's nothing there to hear or to see because I had everything turned off. So we don't need this video. So let's delete it. There's a little trash can right here, and it's gone. Now you can do some deletions over here as well. Now, notice how I have renamed the classes I've already taught, and I'm linking these in Google to my students. So let's just click on the first day. Now, all I did to rename it was just click on that little pencil right there and typed in what I wanted to have, and then saved it. So pretty easy. One bad thing though, when you go back over to Classroom and you go into one of your classes, and you look at the link that results from linking it into your classroom, I have a little section, a topic called Links to Zoom Class Recordings, and it unfortunately reverts back to the original name, which is just Chuck Pace's personal meeting something. And no, I wish it wouldn't do that, but it did. Not a big deal. I can fix that right here. All right. Those are the things that I wanted to show you today in this video. Hopefully they'll be helpful, and we'll get more stuff out to you as soon as we know it or as soon as we can make it. Otherwise, I'm out. See you.